Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Cobra Kai Studios with your host, Daniel-san. And we're going to do another fan questions videos. I didn't get to get one up yesterday because we had some out-of-town stuff we had to do, so I was driving all day mostly yesterday, so we're going to get it done today. Seeing that we had a couple of newer people commenting, which is awesome. I really enjoy more people getting into these question videos. Again, these are just our ways of having some theories, speculations, and questions we get to talk about and debate together. So we're going to start off with Scott's question. If Kyler comes back, like the rumors speculate, who will be Miguel's bigger nemesis, Kyler or Robbie, moving forward? And we'll go ahead and add Dustin Rice's question or answer to this question. My guess would be Kyler because I feel like Robbie and Miguel might make up if Miguel makes it, of course. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and answer that, Dustin. For sure, Miguel's going to make it as far as living. Now, what happens as far as how he's able to, participate moving forward is going to be different, but to answer Scott's question, in my opinion, I would assume that I think Robbie's still going to kind of be his biggest enemy at first just because, Robbie's the one that kicked him over. But then again, it might not because, Miguel did kind of have a change of heart there and was like, he could have hurt Robbie versus, Robbie hurting Miguel. So we're going to have to see how that plays out as far as how, Miguel's mentality is going to be towards Robbie still. But I'm sure that Kyler's going to still be a huge enemy of Miguel. And I could see, Kyler being the bigger enemy of Miguel for sure. And with what Dustin said, it is possible that Miguel and Robbie might indeed end up becoming friends in some way. So that would be interesting to see. What do you think? Do you think that Robbie and Miguel's going to end up being friends? And then both of them obviously not like Kyler. I know Kyler's not ever really met Robbie, so it's going to be interesting to see where that plays out. What do you think? Don't be afraid to comment now. Does Daniel still have the Karate Kid book that Terry Silvers gave him in Karate Kid Part 3? Considering Daniel held on to everything he was given, I bet you he does. Now, the fact that it ain't been shown or talked about yet is just it probably doesn't play any relevant to the story yet, but I can assure that he probably does have it. It just seems like Daniel's the type to not get rid of anything. He kind of like me. I hold on to all kinds of things. I have random collections of stuff that just kind of wouldn't even make sense to most people. But makes sense to me, and it's all that matters, right? On to the next question. What if Allie Mills' daughter is getting bullied in school and she asks Johnny or Daniel to teach her daughter karate? That's a different way to think of it, of a way of bringing Allie back into the show. I mean, either or could be possible, but considering how... I don't know. That's a tough one. I would say that I wouldn't rule it out. I don't know if that's how they're going to bring Allie back into the show, though. But then again, we don't know much about Allie or who her actual daughters are, sons, whoever she might actually have as kids. That's an interesting question, Aaron. I really like that question. I don't know how I would answer it, though, because we don't know enough about Allie yet to really be able to say, yeah, that's going to happen. No, it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? But I like the question because it makes you think something else different I haven't even heard no one talk about. So that's very awesome, Aaron. Keep that up for sure. Keep up these questions. I always enjoy making these videos. Amanda should have not told Daniel to quit teaching. I agree. She really shouldn't have. Yeah, I understand she got really frustrated with her daughter being injured and all that stuff happening. But at the end of the day, she really shouldn't have reacted the way she did. But at the same time, she's just a mom being mad, being upset with the way they went down. She seems to just kind of have a grudge against Daniel teaching karate in general, though, before that ever happened, which always has kind of bothered me. Just my opinion, not the biggest fan of how Amanda treats Daniel. Wouldn't really bother me either way if they stay together, got divorced, whatever. But hopefully if they stay together, things change. Just saying. What if Mike Barnes returns with his wife and kids in Cobra Kai Season 4? That would be really cool to see. Because imagine if he does have kids, I'm going to assume that he's trained his kids, so we might see someone else being brought into the scene that knows how to fight, whether there be enemies of Robbie, Miguel, or friends with either or. We might see something different there, and I kind of hope that happens because it would be really interesting to see. I mean, think about it. I'm sure that Mike Barnes has kids, and if he did, I'm sure it's the same situation with Daniel, how Daniel taught Sam when she was younger, you know what I mean? I could imagine we see something similar. If Tori gets charged for the school fight, will Terry Silver pay the judge to drop the charges? Interesting. If we were to see that, then I would assume that Terry Silvers is in some way related to Tori, or at least knows Tori's family or something along that lines. That would be really exciting to actually bring to the show because that would give Terry Silvers another way into the show that most people probably wouldn't expect. I've not seen anybody ask that kind of a question or even debate about a question like that. Yeah, I've seen people probably bring up that Terry Silvers is Tori's dad, but not a single person's asked, will Terry Silvers be the one that helps Tori out of the situation with whatever happens at the end of the school fight? That's an interesting one. How did Daniel get his money in Cobra Kai because he was poor in Karate Kid? I've wondered this too, Aaron. Honestly, I have. Obviously, some people just work hard and it happens that way. Obviously, it didn't for Johnny. It was completely flipped of script. Johnny was the one that had money in school. Daniel didn't. Starting off in Cobra Kai, Daniel didn't really show up right away, but they showed Johnny right away, and Johnny was, working, trying to make ends meet there in a sense, trying to make money. And then when they showed Daniel, he's got all these lots of cars that he's selling, and, he's obviously making money. He has a nice house. His family's got pretty much everything they want. His son's a little spoiled brat. So, I don't know. I would say just probably hard work and motivation is honestly probably how that happened. I just kind of a tough one to really answer because there's really a lot of things that there's not full answers to the questions. But it's in my opinion, I would assume he just worked hard and managed to make something of himself. What if Sam runs into John Kreese and he said he will train her karate to get revenge on Daniel? I don't think Sam has that big of a grudge against her dad to even do that, though. That's just my opinion. I feel like even if John Kreese, Terry Silvers, anybody was to approach Sam, I don't think she would join them over her dad. I don't. I feel like her loyalty is going to stay with her dad no matter what. Now, other casts in the show, I wouldn't put it past them to, team up with Kreese. Just my opinion. Now, maybe even Robbie might, there's speculation that Robbie might, but I don't know. Do you see Robbie joining John? I see him joining his dad before he joins Kreese, in all honesty, just because the way Robbie's changed is he's changed in such a way that I feel like he's not like the best person, but he's not who he was when we first got introduced to him in season 1. That's for damn sure. Like he's made a lot of improvements. So I don't know that we'll see that. What would happen if Robbie accepted Miguel's mercy at the school fight? That's a nice question, Black Metal Nazgul. Honestly, this is my speculation of how this would have went down, okay? So if that would have been the case, then I imagine it would have been Tori and Sam to finish the season. That's just my opinion. I felt like it was either going to be Miguel and Robbie, one of them two was going to get really hurt, or Sam and Tori, one of them two was going to get hurt. I feel like if Robbie would have accepted Miguel's mercy, it would have just played out a little different. I honestly feel like it would have been Sam and Tori that we would have seen. Maybe Tori would have been the one that got hurt, or Sam. But then again, I felt like they really could have went with that, though. They really could have made it to where Robbie accepted Miguel's mercy, and that would have led for a possible friendship earlier on. But I don't think that's what they're trying to go for yet. I think they're trying to keep it going before they get to the point where Robbie and Miguel might be friends. I just think that that's something they're trying to keep the show going a little bit longer before we get there. And it makes sense. But at the same time, I would like to see Robbie and Miguel on good terms at the same time. I like their rivalry, but I'd also would like to see them on the same side. They're going to have Hawk that's going to end up being their enemy, I feel like. I don't know why, but I feel like even against Miguel, I feel like Hawk and Miguel are going to have their own little thing, especially when Miguel, comes out of it and sees that Johnny's no longer the sensei. I could feel Miguel being like, how could you stay with Kreese? Johnny's the one that taught us, not Kreese. But then Hawk's going to be like, yeah, but Kreese had my back, and yada, 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 you know what I mean? I see it going that way. What do you think? What if Mr. Miyagi's secret is Kimiko and Daniel are married in Okinawa? Well, that would be weird, wouldn't it? That would be really interesting. I'm sure Amanda would just love to hear that, huh? But no, that would be interesting. I don't know how to answer that because there's nothing I can go off on that except for just, speculation there. But if so, I guess we might find out in season 3, huh? Do you think Mr. Miyagi doesn't like Amanda? I could see that. I'm not, just saying. A lot of people don't really like Amanda. So I could see that being a huge possibility. Now, just curious, how many of y'all are actually fans of Amanda? Who here likes Amanda? Who here enjoys Amanda being part of the show? I feel like she has to be a part of the show, but I don't like things she does. It's not that I don't like her per se, it's just I don't like her actions that she chooses to make during the show. And the way she kind of blames everything on Daniel just kind of really irritates me. Alright, so, that's just my opinion on the whole situation, You can let me know how you feel about it. Next question by Scott. I want to see Miguel and Sam get back together in Season 3, but I would also like to see Miguel and Sam versus each other at the All Valley tournament. Alright, I've said this before, I'm not the biggest fan of seeing Sam and Miguel get back together, but in my opinion, it's something we are going to probably see. I just feel like that's something we're going to see. I just kind of always liked Miguel and Tori being together. I don't know why. I just felt like they made a good match for the show. But so did Sam and Miguel in their own ways. And I could honestly see Sam and Miguel getting back together. Now, if that happens, I will have to agree. I would love to see them two fight at the All Valley tournament. Even being a couple, it would be interesting to see them both make it to that part where it's Cobra Kai versus Miyagi-Do's. If Miguel is indeed staying Cobra Kai, though. There's a lot of speculation that he's not going to stay Cobra Kai and might actually go join Miyagi-Do. But, you know, that's a whole different question that a lot of people don't like to agree or disagree with. They have their own opinions about it, which is great. You know, it's awesome for us to have different opinions about these questions and answers and ideas, because it's greater. I feel like it's greater if we have different answers to these questions, because it allows people to really communicate and kind of just enjoy the whole fandom of the Karate Kid saga and Cobra Kai. You know what I mean? It's a lot of fun to sit here and just enjoy things. Will Sid get a lawyer for Robbie if he is charged? Now, I don't know if it'd be exactly Sid, but I could see Johnny asking for help, even though I know he wouldn't want to, because he already paid his, Sid back and kind of wants to do things his own way. But I think if need be, I could see Johnny asking Sid for the money to get a lawyer for Robbie, if that's where it needs to go. Just what I would assume, But, just my opinion. What do you think? Hey Daniel, Saul and Cobra Kai Theories thought of an interesting thing for the secret. On the Karate Kid 2 movie, Sato-san said he trained American soldiers. Would it be possible that he trained Kreese and Silvers? Thanks for the question, Alan. I seen that video too. I know exactly which one you're talking about. And I could say, I could actually agree and see that being a big possibility. Now, if that's the case, that is a huge, Easter egg that's been around for a long time. And I don't know if we'll ever get an answer to it, but at the same time, I could really, really see that being a huge possibility. Now, if that's the case, then that plays into a bigger role than most of us even thought about Sato. You know what I mean? That makes for a lot more interesting videos in the future if we ever get a confirmation of that, 100%. Don't know that we will, but if we do, I can't wait to touch back up on that question. On to the next one. Do you think that Sam will get mad at her dad and mom for not letting her do karate? 100%. Now I don't think Daniel's gonna not let her do karate. I think that's literally just Amanda, and I feel like if that's the case, I think Sam is gonna be really upset about that. Obviously, she's just now getting back into karate. She's enjoying it with her friends. At the same time, some serious things happened at the school that might deter her from karate a little bit, but at the same time, I don't think it is. I think it's just going to make her more mad and more focused on wanting to become a better fighter again. That's just my thought on that, though. What do you think about that? Do you think that Sam's going to get mad at her parents for not letting her fight? I could see it happening. Maybe not so much Daniel, but Amanda for sure. How will John Kreese and Terry Silvers get revenge on Daniel in Cobra Kai Season 3? Okay, I'm assuming Kreese is going to... I don't know. That one's, there's so many ways that, because Kreese is a very, crooked person. I think I could see Kreese trying to go after him in a way that he tries to get Daniel to quit teaching students in general, because obviously Kreese wants to be the best. He wants to train the best students. He wants to be Mr. Badass. And obviously it's not going to go down that way, because, Daniel's going to have some say-so here in the community, because he's a well-known fighter. Obviously he's a part of the committee with the All Valley Karate Tournament. There's a lot that Daniel plays into the karate still, even though it's not all told. We didn't get told everything, so there's a lot that we probably don't know behind the scenes with Daniel, even though they tell us quite a bit. But I don't know about Terry Silvers. Now, Terry Silvers, I'm sure he's just not going to like Daniel still, and in fact that him and Kreese, I feel like, are buddies. I could see them trying to team up in some way to try to either get LaRusso's auto shut down. They're going to try to hit Daniel hard, I feel like. I don't know why. That's just my opinion. I feel like I could see them doing some really crooked things like that. But, just my opinion. Do you think Amanda is a control freak? Yes, I do. I damn sure see that she's a control freak. She wants to be the main person in the family there. I guess we'll just put it that way. You can kind of see that in plenty of the episodes with her and Daniel. She's trying to be the boss, and she don't like that Daniel has his own ideas and thoughts on things. So that's just my opinion on the whole subject, What do you think, though? You feel like Amanda's a control freak? I really do. On to the next question. If Tori hurts Sam in Cobra Kai Season 3, do you think Amanda will tell Daniel to get revenge on Cobra Kai? No, I don't. I think, if anything, Amanda's just going to blame Daniel. That's honestly what I think would happen. She would just blame Daniel and then take it out on Daniel yet again, even though it wouldn't be his fault, but I just think that's what would happen. Personally, I do. That's just how she is. That's just how I see her as, and that's what I see her doing. But, what do you think? You think that she will? On to the next question. BizHacks has a picture of Terry Silver's arrest warrant. I seen that, and I know what you're talking about. That's going to be interesting if it comes to play with any of the Cobra Kais, if we get to hear more about that. I think that would be really awesome to see. I don't know that we will, though. But when they bring Terry Silver's back, I'm curious to how they're going to do that, you know what I mean? And I know most of us are, any of us that want to see Terry Silvers come back, just even, just to play even a couple of clips, just to be that, just to be Terry Silvers again. I'm sure when we see him, there's going to be a lot that we're not going to expect for how they're going to bring him into the show. But then again, I bet you that there's already been hints that they haven't talked about, most of us haven't pinpointed on, that we're going to be like, it was right there in front of our face the whole time. What if Daniel's son started dating? I'm sure that we'll see something along that lines as he gets older. There's a lot of speculation that his son's going to decide to actually finally join martial arts as well. There's a speculation that his son's going to get picked on by someone or something like that's going to happen, and he's going to want to have his dad train him too, which I agree. I think that we might see that, you know what I mean? I think that we might just see that. What if Miguel's dad was a drug dealer or something along that lines? I mean, it's possible. Carmen says that his dad was a horrible person and did a lot of bad things, so there's really no telling who his dad is or what all his dad's done. But at the same time, that also leaves open possibilities to who his dad really is. Now, of course, not everybody needs to be connected in the show or has to be connected, but that's when you have the people saying, well, what if Terry Silvers is his dad? What if Mike Barnes is his dad? What if Dutch is his dad? You wouldn't say that any of those are not possible, so every one of those could end up being the case. But it could also be just some new character that they're going to bring onto the show that we've never seen before. Has nothing to do with the Karate Kid trilogies, nothing along that line. So, what do you think? Do you think that Miguel's dad is a bad person like that? Do you think he's going to play a bigger role in upcoming seasons? What do you think? Don't be afraid to comment. I want to know your opinions as well. Of course, I'm expressing my opinions and my thoughts on the situations, but it's nice to know yours as well. Do you think that Tori will join Miyagi-Do? In order for that to happen, she would have to be super against Kreese. Her and Sam would have to squash their rivalry that they have. Maybe even become friends, which some speculate will happen. The whole Tori and Sam being friends are down the line. And then maybe. I would never say that she won't. I know a lot of you probably would assume, nah, she's never going to be a Miyagi-Do. But I would say it's a slim chance of her ever being Miyagi-Do. I would say like 95% she's going to stay Cobra Kai. But I wouldn't rule it completely out of the picture. Will Miguel's dad return in Cobra Kai Season 3 or 4? I think we're going to see him return in Season 3 in some way. Maybe not a huge way, but I think he's going to be there in some kind of way. Do you think that Dimitri will date Tori or Moon? I could see Dimitri trying to get with Moon just because of Hawk as like a spiteful thing. But I don't know about Tori. I think Tori's a little too much of a hothead for Dimitri, in my opinion. Where did Daniel meet Amanda? I've wondered that too, and I did look this up to try to find it, and there really is just a lot of people making up their own theories to this, so I'm not going to answer that because I don't know which one would even be close to true. I imagine it happened somewhere after the Karate Kid 3. Probably not too long after either, but I don't know. What do you think? Where do you think that Daniel met Amanda, and how did he meet her? Do you think that Amanda should have answered Miguel's phone call and told him that Sam is grounded? Yes, I really do. That would have stopped so much of the issues that happened. It wouldn't have been that hard of her as a parent to just be like, hey, Sam can't talk right now. She's grounded. That would have been the more respectable thing to do. And it would have led to way less of the conflict that ended up happening. So yeah, I agree 100%. Amanda should have done that. She really should have. She didn't, but I just personally feel like that's something. What do you think? Do you think that she should have, I know most parents wouldn't do that, but at the same time, it would have lessened the conflict between Miguel and Sam by a huge amount. We might not have ever seen them break up, etc., but I don't know. That's just my personal opinion on it. I don't think that, I don't know, I just don't think it would have been as bad of a conflict between Robbie and Miguel if that was the case. Do you think the remaining OG Cobra Kais will come back to help Johnny fight Kreese? That's a nice question, Chad. I could see that happening. The ones that are still around, yeah, I could actually maybe see that, because they did not like Kreese, and they didn't like Kreese. And the whole fact that, they do the fight in the bar scene where, show they could still fight. I would like to see that, actually. It would be a way to bring those original Cobra Kais in to face the master that all of them didn't like. I would like actually the hope to actually see that. So I hope we see that, Chad. That would be a really, really great way to get Johnny and his friends back together again to put on a hell of a show, and take Kreese down. What do you think, though? Would you all like to see the OG Cobras come back one more time and help Johnny fight Kreese? I would. I would like to actually see that, honestly. I don't know that we will, but nonetheless, it would be interesting if we did get to see that happen. But that's all the fan questions for today from all of you all. Yeah, so we're just going to end the video there. I want to say thank you to all my subscribers. I want to say thank you to Bonsai Kai Dojo. I want to say thank you to all of you that have watched my videos, whether you liked it or didn't. These videos are just, videos for us to sit here and enjoy talking, and whether you enjoy it or not, that's up to y'all. But we're going to end it there, and we'll see you on the next one. Stay badass, everyone.